Hey everyone, welcome to the world of Solid Principles. In this video, we are going to see what is dependency inversion principle and what kind of problem it solves. So let's begin. Let's take the same example from our previous video where we had iPayment interface. Now let's try to consume this interface into different entities. The first place where we will consume iPayment interface is Booking Agent, which provides a booking experience and does some charging based on the booking. So let's say we had Google Pay, which implements iPayment interface. So Booking Agent created an instance of Google Pay and started consuming that interface. This looks good and will work for sure. But what happens if tomorrow we want to use some other payment provider? So, for example, instead of Google Pay, we decided to use PayPal for the payment transactions. Okay, you will say I'll just replace the Google Pay instantiation by PayPal instantiation. Well, that sounds good. This will still work and you will be happy that your code is working with PayPal. But then you realized that there is another entity, support agent, which also consumes iPayment interface, and as of now it is using Google Pay. So you went ahead and replaced Google Pay by PayPal. Well, again, this also looks okay, and you might be comfortable that my code is now working with PayPal provider. Well, this will blow your mind. In reality, there will be n number of entities which might be dependent on same interface. So like in our case, we might have auto refund service, penalty service, payback service, and such n number of other entities which might be using iPayment interface. Now you realize the frustration you will get if you have to edit each and every entity to replace Google Pay by PayPal. Well, this is not the only reason of frustration. What if you only had iPayment interface and there was no single implementation available? Would you not start working on order agent or support agent just because you don't have the exact implementation of iPayment? Really? How are you going to unit test your methods inside, let's say, support agent or booking agent? Because you won't be interested in executing the exact implementation of Google Pay. You must be thinking of mocking the iPayment behavior while you unit test. How are you going to do that? See, the root cause of having all such frustrations is that you hard-coded or you tightly coupled the exact implementation within the entity. And this is what basically dependency inversion principle tries to attain. It clearly indicates that an entity should only ask what it needs and it should not decide who should satisfy that need. You must be wondering, what is the definition of ask and decide in this context? Well, for an example, an entity can ask for a cache provider, but it must not decide by itself that it wants to use Redis cache. Or another example could be an entity asks for a data store, but it must not decide by itself that it wants to consume SQL store. Let's try to apply this simple principle to our existing problem. So we are going to modify our original code of booking agent to something like this. And now if you take a closer look to see the changes which we have done, we have removed the hard-coded assignment of Google Pay provider to the iPayment reference. Now it's just an attribute which is not initialized yet. We have also provided a constructor for booking agent which asks for iPayment provider. Similarly, we will have all the similar entities defined in such a way that they don't have hard-coded assignment for their dependencies like iPayment, but rather all of those entities will ask for the definition via constructor. Well, no doubt that you must be having this question. If everyone starts asking for definitions, who is supposed to decide what definition should be provided for their dependencies? Well, you might want to take notes for this answer. There are different ways by which you can decide which definition should be provided for the requested dependency. First one, there are different third-party libraries which are also called as container factories like AutoFac, StructureMap, which you can refer into your project, and this can help you to define how to inject the requested dependency into the constructor of the entity. The second thing is factory pattern, which can be also used to decide which interface implementation to use based on the given inputs. And the third one, which is very basic, whoever wants to instantiate an entity can decide which definition should be provided to the constructor of that entity. Simple as that. To keep this video easy and simple for understanding, we will not deep dive into each and every aspects which are mentioned here. I would request all of you to read about them separately. Well, that's it. I hope the principle was clear and easy to understand. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, and please subscribe and share for all the upcoming videos. If you have any suggestions or questions for the current topic or the upcoming topics, feel free to comment. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you so much.